This is one weird, tripped out movie. I'm going to get right into it because the backstory and how these young adults actually arrive at this Midsummer Festival in Sweden, it's kind of irrelevant. It's a group of young adults that go to Sweden, decide to travel there to this Midsummer Festival, as suggested by one of the guys in the group who's actually from this community. So he gets them there, they arrive, and from there they meet another two tourists who are also visiting this community and going to the festival. This festival, it feels very cultish. It's very bright in this town or in this community and very, very trippy. There's a lot of herbal substance taking that makes you hallucinate, kind of like an acid or LSD trip. And the young adults actually take their own mushrooms or something like that and trip out to begin with. Once they actually join the community, there's a lot more substance taking and a lot more hallucinating, and in this type of scenario with what you see with all the brightness and the colors and stuff happening, it would be one hell of a trip. This movie is a very non-traditional type of horror film. It's very, very slow. So if you're someone that appreciates a very slow build-up, then you'll definitely appreciate this. This is made or directed by Ari Aster, who brought us Hereditary. So same kind of slow burn style. This is probably slower than Hereditary. It's not your traditional horror with jump scares, scary faces, and CGI. It's more suspenseful, a more suspense-driven type of terror and horror, and it'll get you on the edge of your seat a lot of times, but more times than not, you'll look at each other if you're in the theater or if you're watching this with friends and be like, what the hell? It's very, very strange, very unusual, and the more the movie goes on, the weirder and stranger it actually becomes. So for a while, things are tense and a little strange until they actually attend this ritualistic ceremony that's very, very bizarre. But hey, you're in a different country, different cultures. You kind of try and go with what's happening until it leads to death. Basically, in this community, there are different phases of life. And once you hit 70, I believe, there's like a ritualistic suicide type ceremony. And they try and persuade the young adults that this is normal, this is part of culture. Most of them kind of accept this, even though they're clearly shocked and want to get the hell out of there. And one person really doesn't accept what's happening and is like, this is death, this is sick, I'm out of here. And from then, things really pick up, and the hidden agendas as to what's actually happening at this festival or this community that's gathering around to celebrate some sort of, once in a lifetime, blah, blah, blah thing. Everything sort of comes to fruition and is revealed to us. But by the end, you'll kind of still be scratching your head thinking, what the hell happened there? What was the purpose of all this? And a lot of it is left to your interpretation. It's not going to be explained to you. That's the thing about this film. You have to just watch it and interpret what's the agenda and what's actually happening and the climax as to why was all this happening. You just kind of have to decide for yourself. Because that's where this film has a weakness, I think. I didn't mind being in this for the long haul and actually sitting down for, 3 hours or however long it was and just really learning what was happening with the characters. And I don't mind slow burn type movies if the subject matter is interesting and intriguing. This is definitely very, very weird, very slow and very interesting. So I happily sat there, but the payoff at the end, I don't know if I was satisfied. It's an unusual one because you kind of appreciate this movie and you know that you're not going to get all the answers. So perhaps it's not too bad of an ending, but I guess I was just craving more of a conclusion. I am a conclusion type of guy, but I also do appreciate movies like this where they do keep you guessing and sometimes they end without clear conclusions or explanations as to what you've actually endured for the last 3 hours. Midsommar definitely is not for everybody. If you appreciate really good filmmaking, I think the director Ari Aster is super talented and he's on the verge of really making something really special and breaking out. Hereditary was very good. This is very good, but it isn't for everybody. It's very, very slow. You're in this for the long haul. If you don't mind that, then you're going to appreciate this. And what I really like about it is it's different. This isn't your traditional horror that relies on jump scares and gore, terror, CGI, scary faces. What I like most about it is There are no jump scares, it's not necessary, it just relies on your build-up of suspension, and it works on terror and horror that way. It definitely does that successfully, so if you appreciate something that moves away from the traditional horror type movie and is different, then you'll definitely like this, and just be aware, you're in this for the long haul. Personally, I really enjoyed this. A little bit dissatisfied with the very end, but hey, you know, if I kind of look back, it can't really do much else, to be honest with you. I think the movie would be ruined if it actually really did explain everything to perfection. I think it's probably best to leave a lot to viewer interpretation. So I'll have to give Midsommar a very well deserved 10 out of 13. I was kind of going to and from a 10 or 11. 11 is a really, really great score, I think. It's 2 from perfection. This isn't quite up there. It's very bizarre. It does work very well. The suspense is definitely there, but I can understand how some people won't enjoy this film. So, like I mentioned, if you're really into some of the things that I spoke about earlier, if you don't mind a very slow build-up, if you don't mind something that's very different, very bizarre, very weird and almost hallucinogenic, with a very bizarre conclusion or climax that doesn't really give you the answers that you've been seeking or sitting through 2.5 hours waiting for, then go out and check this out and let me know in the comments below what you all thought. Halloween is fast approaching. Stay tuned to the channel for more horror-related stuff.